What is going on? Little bit late. That's on me, but we are here. Heavy Pour Sports, Border Rivals, all UK ball to talk a little bit different today. A little bit different today because one fan base got an SEC win and one didn't. How do you feel about that, Selena? A little bit how the tides have turned, as
Look,
they say.
look, I don't. We won a game that I didn't expect us to win. So, I'm not mad at all about any of this.
You can't be mad
I
at
only
wins.
had
Can't
UK
be
win
mad
one
at
more
wins.
game, and that was Cincy Tech. That was not beating anybody else. But I think I might have found an offense worse than UK's. And that's saying something.
Yeah, they definitely couldn't figure it out for sure.
Because Auburn was bad.
Super, super bad. And I will say,
Yeah.
I think it was twofold. I think Brad White and Stoops had a good game plan against their revolving door of quarterbacks, their revolving
Yeah.
door of O line. Their O line looked a lot like ours did last year. Was able to get to the quarterback, only rushing 4. Anytime we blitzed him, he was uncomfortable. And and shout out to Brad White for not getting away from that game plan once we got up and in the fourth quarter, hey, we're pressuring this dude and we're getting to him, and we're not seeing the Brad White of old who goes kind of relax, prevent, bend don't break, but unfortunately we end up breaking late in the game. But yeah, all in all, great plan. Offense did just enough to get the win. That was the most kind of Kentucky victory that you can imagine. But on the road, tough environment. And, an Auburn team that really went toe-to-toe with Georgia just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had a feeling we were going to win that game. I said it before on the show. It just seemed like both coaches were fighting for their job. And I think Hugh Freeze was in a worse spot. And right when he was questioning which quarterback to play and not confidence in the dude, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks, and they might as well have not had anybody playing in that backfield. And what's wild is they have 2 super, super talented receivers on that team. Coleman is special. 2 dudes out there who, if you get them the ball in space, even contested throws, more likely they're coming down with it. And Coleman had a catch earlier in that game, shook a dude off, got downfield, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be ugly. And I think he had 46 yards or something like that all game. So he didn't have much production after that. But I guess we'll get into Florida and what it means for Stoops. But T, did you watch any of the game? I know your game was on the same time, so probably didn't catch a lot of it.
No, I didn't watch any of it.
You still sound upset, bud. You still sound a little upset.
No, I'm good. But as you know, I was unreachable during the game because
yes, you were.
Yeah.
I could tell early on that game wasn't gonna go our way. So yeah, I didn't want to watch the NFL the next day or anything. Just I was in my feelings for a couple of days.
So talk about it. What did you see? Oklahoma, good team. Their loss came, without their quarterback, and then a quarterback that came back early, not healthy from that hand injury. Venables' defense looked good. I'll let you go at it. I didn't watch the first 3 quarters, but I did say last Thursday, if Joey puts the ball into some vulnerable situations and turns it over, it's going to be trouble. And he had 2 picks. But I don't know if those were bad decisions, bad throws, or if they were, tips, just bad luck. So did Joey do the Joey thing and he threw up some balls that he shouldn't have and they got turnovers at time? Or was it, unlucky tips, overthrows, that sort of thing?
One was a read where he just I don't know how. Do you remember on the old college game where they used to have or Madden? where they used to have the quarterback's vision, and it it was so Joey's one of his picks. His vision went from like this to like this, and the spotlight only saw the receiver, and he didn't see the whole left side of the field where the safety was just sitting there ready to go high point the ball. So he just threw that one straight up to them, and then another one that I didn't even see a Tennessee receiver in sight. So I don't know if that was just an anticipatory throw, and he thought that the receiver was going to do something, and it was an option route, and the receiver did something else. I don't know. They were both on Joey from what I could see, and then we had the strip sack for 6, which was the right tackle because he found on the defensive tackle. So our right tackle moved to the, he looked to the left, but there was a guy blitzing like his hip. So it made no sense to lean to the guy to the left. And this is our 5-star tackle, David Sanders. He's also a true freshman playing in the SEC. It seemed like simple coverage to me, but I'm not an O-lineman. I've never been an O-lineman. I don't know how calls work and all that stuff. But, I mean, it's just another one of those games where we beat ourselves. I mean, Oklahoma didn't even have 100 yards in the first half, and we were losing 16-10. And I mean, and that pick six, that strip sack pick six was a huge part of it. Max Gilbert missed a big field goal, and it was only a 37-yarder. But that was first half, so you can't really blame the game on him. But obviously, it has an impact. So kicker. Again, Casey cost us the game in Georgia, but he's a big part of it. People have been arguing about him on Twitter. He's the most accurate kicker in Tennessee history. Now he's only been here for 2 years. But that doesn't matter if you miss the ones that count, right? Like if
you gotta be clutch, right?
Yeah, if you make a million kicks against Syracuse and ETSU and New Mexico State, that helps bump your percentage up. You got to make them when it counts. I need my boy Alex Walls. Me and him played together. He used to kick for Tennessee, and then we played arena ball together. I need to get him back on the gridiron for us. But yeah, man, it's just another self-inflicted thing. Guys missing coverages. This didn't end up stopping us from driving, but we had a touchdown called back because our receivers were still looking at the sideline for the play call when the snap went. So yeah, I don't know. Shut Oklahoma's offense completely down in the first half. They picked it up in the second half, but I mean, Mateer still only threw for 160 yards the whole game, and no.
What did he rush for though?
80.
Did he kill you with his legs or not really?
I mean, he rushed for 80 yards, and then their running back rushed for 115. So they got 192 on the ground, and 159 in the air. So
so it sounds like those defensive scores, man, are just so tough to come by. We saw it at South Carolina. The game just got out of control when it was pretty close. You unfortunately just saw against Alabama that really shifted the game there before half, and then they're just tough to come by, especially when the offense isn't rolling and you get an unexpected score like that. It's just football wise, on the field, calling a game, and then just like morale, mentality, momentum wise, that's just a gut punch.
It's a killer. And then with the strip sack, our tight end had the guy, but he was just trying to hold him up, trying to pull the ball out, and got drugged for like 20 yards, and then he fell off of him, and then the dude like tore his hamstring and then just walked the last 10 yards into the end zone because like nobody's chasing this dude. Like where's the effort? So that was frustrating too. But with how dominant our defense had been, we don't need you to strip the ball right back. Just make the tackle. Just grab him, go down to the ground. So yeah, it was frustrating, man. And then I continue to lament the same thing. I don't think Joey throwing the ball 40 plus times is the recipe when we're carrying the rock like 20 times. I don't like it. I'm a Joey fan. He's a perfect fit for the offense, but 45 pass attempts like he did against Oklahoma or 40 whatever against Bama, I think exposes his physical limitations. He's got a gunslinger mentality, but he doesn't have Nico's arm or Tyler Bray's arm or anything, and so that I think you're putting too much on him, and I thought we abandoned the run too quick. They were selling out against the run, but find a way. And then the last thing I'll mention, we had a 4th and 1, or actually there's 2 things I want to mention. We had a 4th and 1 play, had to have it. It's like we're towards the end of the game, and we end up doing like a rub thing from a guy who's in like an H-back, fullback position. He's a true freshman tight end with 2 catches on the whole year. So he was wide open in the flat. The ball hit him in the face mask, and he got bumped on the line trying to get out of the trash by the D end. So schematically, it was a good play call because the dude was wide open. But we have Chris Brazzell, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley, Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas, my guy, and then now all of a sudden Ethan Davis is healthy and has emerged as our best pass catching tight end. So you have these 7 options to get 1 yard, and instead we go to a true freshman. Again, schematically it was fine because the dude was wide open, but like why would you put a true freshman with 2 catches in that position? And so the ball just doinks right off his face mask. So I didn't like that play call. And then we had another really critical one. It was 3rd and something. We really needed it, and we did like this quarterback sneak, but like just went laterally to the right instead of anybody going forward, and Joey just got absolutely stuffed. But like Joey is not a runner. He's not overly athletic. I don't understand why we would call a run play with Joey to pick up 4 or 5 yards or whatever we did. So play calls, that's life. I mean, but some of it just didn't. And then we had some clock management issues again at the end. And Kirk Herbstreit was like hollering at the TV, basically telling Heupel to kick a field goal before the 2-minute warning. That way we could have a 2-minute warning and use our 2 timeouts to try to get the ball back. But
yeah, I saw that piece. I didn't understand that. Didn't understand that going. I mean, because we actually did the same thing a few weeks back when we were down a couple scores. You saw it in the NFL a week prior, where you kick that and just kind of get an extra timeout out of it.
Yeah. And when you only have 2 timeouts, that's huge.
Yeah. Because even if you score a touchdown there, which he did, it was a great ball by Joey. But now it doesn't matter at that point. Because then if you kick the field goal, it kind of gives you options too, right? You want to onside kick it, but don't have to because you got essentially three timeouts. Tough call there. But you mentioned that turnover with the tight end, you getting frustrated. A turning point in the game, and I said it during the show, it came up to be like a fourth quarter rally watch long thing we did, and watching that game turn out. And Cutter throws this pick. He gets hit as he throws, just a duck shot out of the sky. We talk about play calls. I don't even get into this. It's terrible decision, but it ends up happening, and it's a pick. And you have the young Cam Miller come by and strip the ball. Kentucky recovers it. We get a chance to go back down, and it ends up just being a clock killer. But with Auburn's offense struggling, that was huge. And in the moment, I was like, that is a game ball type play. Like that is a 100% could have, because now turnovers create momentum. Maybe their offense gets going. Defense is right back on the field that they're being tired, and they've been playing great. And then sure enough, they had him on the post game press conference. I don't know if you saw it, Selena, where he he had his game ball, and he was walking around with it during it. During the interview piece, like, I'm never letting this thing go. Like, that was like his moment. It was just one bit. He had a couple catches in the game, and he's had flashes in some losses, but it was cool to see that as a Kentucky fan and as someone that we're hoping he sticks around because he's got a bunch of talent. Him and DJ, but it was cool to see him make those hustle plays, and we're getting some guys on the field now who seem to be talented and also put in some effort, right? Really, really playing for something. Fred Ferrier had a massive catch on the side, like a couple catches, but one that was massive that moved the chains on a ball that cut her through right after throwing a horrendous pick, and he had the nerve to sit in the pocket and throw this ball over the corner and just drop it in to Fred for a massive play. So seeing the Cats kind of grow. Before we transition to the Florida game, Tennessee's got a bye. I've seen a lot of your tweets, a lot of like trying to get the boys going, right? Like, and the fans of like, hey, I understand we're not in the playoff anymore. We've lost that race, but overall, looking at a 9-3 season, which you highlighted was most of your fans' predictions. So like, you're still in line with what you predicted, but there is some disappointment there. So what does Heupel do? You got New Mexico State in a couple weeks, easy win there, but then a couple big games on the back end where you can finish the season strong, get a good bowl game, and you finish the season potentially 10-3, a lot better than 8-4, or worst case like 7-5, right?
Yeah, and that's why I tweeted it. So on Hammer's show, his preseason show that we were on, that's what he and I both predicted. I think what threw it off is going into overtime with Georgia. I think going into the season, like, everybody was expecting that. Then we're this close to Georgia, should beat them, missed a fairly low. All of a sudden, we're like, well, shoot, if we can beat everybody else. So that got people's hopes and expectations a little bit higher than they were into the season. I think that's why there's been a little bit of chirp right now, although it's significantly less than it's being portrayed. But get your guys healthy. Work skills too, man. Just because I don't know that you can instill discipline this deep into the season, but just work some individual skills. I think we lead the conference in drop passes and stuff, but so much of that was the front half of the season. And our receivers are catching everything almost now. So it shows that your individual skills can improve during the season. So we gotta do something about the run blocking, because we keep abandoning the run game way too. Joey doesn't need to be throwing 40-something times. So figure out something so that we can get the run game going, get your individual skills. We got the youngest team in the entire SEC. So you work on these skills with guys, and you just keep taking that into spring ball, work your skills and stuff there, take it into the next season. We got a lot of opportunity to continue to sharpen up for next season. I'm not saying look ahead to next season, but you're laying the framework for it now. And that's why I think there's still a lot of value in going 10-3 over, or 9-3 over 8-4, or 9-3 over 8-4. It looks so much better. It just feels better going into the offseason, even though you're disappointed, all that kind of stuff. So I still think there's a lot to play for. Beat Florida in the swamp since I was I don't know, 16 or 17 or something. It was back in 2003, I think. My boy Casey Clausen, not Casey Clausen. Yeah, I think it was Casey Clausen. And then obviously we have to do everything that we can to not let Vandy into the playoffs. They will be as insufferable as Kentucky basketball fans, and I'm not trying to hear it. So
listen,
that
wasn't necessary.
Lots to play for still.
I think that's the second part of it. The record's the first part. The second part is who you have to play. Like, no matter how their seasons have been the last 2 years, it's still Vandy, and no one's gonna appreciate, especially Vols fans are gonna appreciate losing to Vandy, right? And then this Florida team, the The head coach bump is gone. They played a good game against Georgia. That was ecstasy for them, right? They had a great game, and now it's probably all to be crap from there, to be quite honest. And you even if it's in the swamp, it's going to be a loud environment, but their season's going to be pretty much over. There's going to be nothing to play for. You cannot go to that game to end the season and lose, right? Just bad taste in everybody's mouth if you do that to end the season, no matter what the results of your bowl game are, or yada yada. But so Selena, Coach, as always, got something to say about Kentucky football. He mentioned this before. He texted to me. He said it on the. He jumped on. He actually got me to watch some baseball after on the show Saturday. We watched Game 7 of the World Series. But we talked about that Auburn win, and you see here he's like, "We're going to go back in time and look at that as a terrible loss for Kentucky football program at large." How do you feel about that? Because I understand where he's coming from, but also, even if we lose that game, I don't have faith that we're going to show up to, Mark Stoops' show on Monday and have a change, or Tuesday. I think we're rolling with the same stuff going into
There's never
Florida.
going to be a change unless Mark Stoops is gone. And Mitch Barnes not making that change whatsoever. I think when Barnhart came on and kind of pleaded Stoops' case a little bit, it's not going to happen. And I think even if we had lost that game, sorry, my kittens are being terrorists right now. They're biting my legs. So, jerks. No. So even if we had lost that game, I think it would have been more of the same. And I don't think anything would have changed. So winning the game, though, it gives Stoops and Barnhart a little bit of see, he can still do it. He can still do it, even though Auburn is actual dog water. I have never seen Auburn. I thought our offense was bad. No, that was awful. Their defense is pretty good, but their offense was terrible. But beating an SEC team gave them just enough. See, he can do it.
Yeah, so, I mean, we managed to stay under 400 days without a.
He's saying the worst thing because that means y'all. Is that why he's saying?
Yeah,
that's so. I'm gonna let y'all talk Kentucky, but my one coming from the outside, and we talked about this last show. Where is Kentucky in the pecking order of all these other schools to hire a coach? So I understand, the Eye of Sauron is on Pat Summerall for y'all, but if other schools come calling, unless there's just Kentucky loyalty, this isn't the year to want to be competing with all these other hire a coach.
No, so, I agree with that. There's too much open right now. And UK football.
So that's my only pushback on Coach Evans. Yeah, that's my only pushback on Coach Evans with that. I understand for him, he doesn't want to extend Stoops' runway. But what are you going to do right now when you're competing with 9-10 other schools? So
and that's it for me on too, and that's a problem. No, and I agree with you. That's the thing too, is because everyone's already made these moves during the season. We're already behind the 8 ball and trying to find a coach anyway. You're not going to find the coach that we're looking for or we want because the school's already in the middle of the search already. They have been. So as much as we want Stoops gone, because I want him gone as well, we won't get a coach worthy of a replacement if we try to do it right now.
Yeah, and I agree with you because Auburn's open now. Better job than Kentucky. LSU open, better job than Kentucky. I don't know. I mean, they got some money. They got Walmart money. They got Purdue, chicken money. Arkansas Arkansas better? Is Arkansas a better job at Kentucky football? I mean, they got a championship. I would say you could argue that probably that they are a better legacy football program. You go there now. You do have to compete with John Calipari in basketball, right? So it's the same kind of message that you're going to have if you come to Kentucky. And then you look outside the SEC, Penn State, that's the that's the big job opening, right? Everybody, I think, considers that to be, I guess you can argue between them and LSU, what's the better job. And then don't let me forget Florida. Florida is the most attractive job open right now. So, yeah, you're definitely competing. It's I don't know. The tea leaves say, hashtag not sourced, but the tea leaves say that if we had reached out to Summerall, he would have wanted the job. Stein's people, behind the scenes, it's been like, hey, I would be interested in that job. And then I think also the family ties with Brian Hartline and Mike Hartline. So, and those are guys at the bottom of the head coach pecking order, right? So if you had gotten ahead of it and said, hey, this is Stoops last year, we're looking for a new head coach, I think you could, court some of those players to be like, or some of those coaches because there's Kentucky ties, and you offer them a decent amount of money as an upgrade. And all of them, outside of Summerall, those other two are OCs, right? So only making $1.5, $2 million a year. I say only, but compared to head coaching job, you could double that salary pretty quickly, and they might be interested. But yeah, I don't know what this win at Auburn means. I know what it means for me as a fan. And I'm like, well, we got the win. I didn't trust Mitch to make the right move anyways. So screw it. Let's go beat Florida. Let's go beat Tennessee Tech. We'll see how Vandy goes, and let's go beat Louisville, right? And we started off months ago saying the worst case that could happen is a 5-7 record or 6-6 record because we're not excited. You barely get it, and we feel like Mitch gets to say, hey, we're bringing him back because it saves us some money, 36, 38, 40 million, whatever it is. But if we're going to keep Stoops at 4-8, let's keep Stoops at 5-7 or 6-6, right? Let's get some big wins here at the end of the season. And my only hope, and I know it's a pipe dream, I tweeted it out there. If Stoops is back next year, there's zero chance that you can come back with Bush-handed, right? Too many offensive weapons are gonna leave if you do that. I think people are going to leave regardless because they're not excited to play for Stoops anymore, and they probably, don't expect there to be progress in the next season. It'll be similar to what this one was. But you got to find a new OC. My only hope would be, as unrealistic as it is, what if we did something like, hey, Stein in Oregon, like the rumor was Liam Cohen came back to Kentucky because Stoops was going to be on his way out and he was going to be heir apparent, right? You come back to Kentucky, you're going to get a head coach position. Now, was he going to be at Kentucky very long as a head coach? Nope. He was always chasing the NFL, but it would have been pretty exciting to have him as the head coach for a couple of years to see what he could do with the program. Then all of a sudden, Stoops isn't going anywhere. He takes another job at the NFL, and the rest is history. But what if we actually did it right this time and pulled in Will Stein or Brian Hartline and said, hey, Stoops is nearing his end. Like, he's going to retire soon. He's got a couple more years in him. Come be our OC for $3 million. $3 million a year is a lot for an OC. It would make him the highest paid offensive coordinator. But if we're going to save 36, 38 million anyways in a buyout, and they were telling me the money's there, maybe you invest that into the coach, and then boom, the heir apparent is there. Stoops retires when he's kind of done with this thing, which I think is very, very close. Regardless of what happens, getting fired or whatnot, I don't see him having more than a couple years in him anyways. I mean, look how emotional was after that one win. that's gotta take a toll on you, right? I mean, you're getting beat up that much by the fans, by donors and whatnot. You get a road win, and I appreciated him caring. Honestly, we had a couple episodes ago where like he doesn't care because that's how it seemed like when he's skipping radio shows and whatnot. So I appreciated the emotion, but also you see it and go, that's got to take a toll on this guy, right? And he's made enough money where he can sit back and he can be like, hey, he can be a defensive coordinator somewhere, or he can just kick his feet up and relax and not worry about it, right? He can completely retire and be fine for the rest of his life. So I think that end is near. Do I think that the whole OC thing is going to happen? I don't. But, that's my only hope is that we can bring in some young stud OC and tell him, hey, this is the keys to the castle right here, and you're going to get them, and you're going to be able to take this program to the next level. Contract extension, more money, yada yada. Once Stoops retires and moves on, but there's also the pipe dream of, even if Stoops goes 6-6 or somehow has a winning record at the end of the season, that this one was just so taxing on him. Reference the emotions we just talked about after the game, that he's like, hey, let's negotiate something. I'm ready to retire. I can't do this again. Nick Saban did something similar. Some of these coaches, like the NIL thing. I'm an old school coach, and Stoops is battling NIL and the change in college football where it's, offensive dominant. You got to be able to score points to win games. He hasn't been able to transition well for either one of them. He can't do well in the portal. We see. Reference Zach Calzada flashing money today like a moron. But maybe he just gets to the point where he's like, hey, I'm going out 6-6. It's just time for me to hang it up, Let's my bad, Hammer. I just now saw that you were in there. What's up, dude?
Hey, did I miss the Super Soaker?
Not yet.
No, we're not there yet.
Not yet, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it because T is disrespecting this man's dunk, and I'm done with it. I'm done with the disrespect he put on that dunk. I don't care who it was against. When you cock that thing back and hayaka like that, you got to give him his credit. Got to give him his credit, but we'll get there. How much of that conversation did you catch, Hammer, about Stoops and OC change, him coming back, comparing our job to the rest of the openings, and then kind of how did you feel about the Auburn win and Kentucky's future with the new head coach?
Well, I mean, an ugly win still a win, right? So, and I don't know,
especially when you haven't had one in 400 days.
That's right. And me and my guys kind of talked about it, and we knew it was going to be more of the rock fight variety. And we were all actually on Kentucky to cover in that game, and really thought they had a chance to win because of just the situation with their opponent. So all that, I mean, it was all great to see. I was actually pulling for you guys in that. Talking about the now and the going forward, though, I don't know who you bring in, because respectfully, if Liam Cohen couldn't get over the hump, I don't know who you bring in to fix it. And then I don't know if you've caught wind or not, but there's unsubstantiated rumors, but rumors nonetheless, that John Sumrall is about to be the next head coach at Arkansas.
Arkansas. I thought Auburn was the leader for Sumrall as of a couple days ago.
Seems like no, I'm sorry. Auburn. You're right. Okay. Arkansas supposedly is going after
the Memphis coach, right?
Yeah, Memphis. My apologies. I got my Blues and Cats mixed up there. My apologies. That's right.
Kentucky fans would have been in their feels if Calipari and Sumrall are in Arkansas.
Oh yeah, God. For real. So yeah, my apologies, everybody. You can. That's 2 heart attacks I've caused tonight. Turns out the mystery vehicle belonged to my wife's friend, so I'm glad I didn't have that towed. Anyway, wouldn't have got out of the doghouse for a while.
Yeah.
But no, I obviously you could tell after the game that it matters still to Stoops and to the team, and the team's never quit. They've played hard all year. They just haven't been able to turn that effort into results. So it's good to see, but I just don't know who you bring in to fix the offense. So
you're gonna have to probably overpay.
Oh, no doubt.
I think also I think talent evaluation has to step up.
Yes.
Well,
because whoever decided that Calzada was the QB,
bingo.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What? Who made that decision?
And Selena, respectfully, the past 2 or 3 guys haven't really panned out, and I know Levis had some some good wins and had some good games, but historically it's
not great.
Not been great, and it goes all the way back to even who I respect the hell out of, Lynn Bowden, but it goes all the way back to there. Like we just haven't seen that real star quarterback at Kentucky, and some of the transfers have just been bust. So no, you're 100% right. I think in that, regardless of who made the decision or who made the evaluation, it still falls on Stoops because, he's the guy running the show. So
right.
I don't know. What do you guys think as fans? I mean, do you want to see Stoops back, or do you think change is inevitable? And
I don't like. I don't think I don't want him back.
Okay.
I don't think he can turn around. I don't think he has the guts to turn it around. I don't think he can. But as I was talking to T earlier about it too, like it's the problem is if he leaves after the season, we are going to be the bottom of the totem pole for coaches.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're not going to find the coach that we want to replace him to get us where we want to be, because there's so many openings out there right now that are much more attractive than UK football.
Yeah.
So I think, unfortunately, we're probably stuck with him another year. I know Coach said, Wisconsin has a UNC, maybe USC. Okay, yes. But the difference in those schools, you don't have 3 or 4 open in SEC next year, hopefully. Yeah. And that's the thing. The SEC is too attractive to coaches versus an FSU, UNC, or whatever, right? Like, so I think we're stuck with him, unfortunately. And that part really sucks, but we're not going to get a good coach this year because there's too many openings that we can't compete with.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right about that. And it doesn't help the fact either that some of these schools that have these openings have been far better over
over a history of time.
And a more recent time period as well. So
it
makes those much more attractive because, getting talent in Baton Rouge and State College and, even Wisconsin. And I heard today that Wisconsin's already made the announcement they're keeping Luke Fickell. And I'm like, what in the world are you people doing? For the first time in like 30 years, Camp Randall's not selling out, and it's because of the product on the field. And so, yeah, they're kind of, the pecking order is pretty far down for options.
And that puts us in a tight spot. Yeah. You know what, Vic, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he might be right. I think the only way, because I am fully changing my prediction. We're going to win Saturday. We're winning Saturday. I'm hoping that playing Lenora Sellers early in the year, because he's looked like absolute trash before and after playing us. We made him look great because we let him use his legs and athleticism. I'm hoping we can watch that film and go, hey, plus we played Lagway last year. Hey, let's figure out a way to contain this dude, because we just make him a pocket passer. Florida can't do it. They're minus one of their big offensive weapons, and just make a pocket passer. Don't let them escape and be the best athlete on the field. And we're going to win that game because our offense will be able to do just enough to get it. So I fully believe we're going to win. We're going to win this game.
Well, you have victory on your side, Rando. I don't know if you're aware, but the underdog game won 3 of the last 4, and Florida has lost 3 of its last 4 November games as a road favorite. So it's all kind of there on the table, and maybe this win over Auburn gave them some fire, some confidence, and Florida coming off that tough, emotional. That's always an emotional game with Georgia. So the table's set. All they got to do is go out there and get it. But I know that's easier said than done, especially against this team. But
now,
Florida
if we lose,
is a very good cover team in November, oddly enough, and you guys have just seemed to be able to give them problems. We could learn something from that.
Yeah, and their away record post November, having to travel outside of Florida has been trash too the last like 5-6 years. So something about them Gators, you have to go. It's like if you have to go down south early in the year, it's a disadvantage when they have to come up north and play in the cold.
It's the cold weather.
Yeah, it's a disadvantage, and it's not super cold in Kentucky, but it's chilly enough to get you out of your comfort zone. We'll see what the weather's like on Saturday. But yeah, I just feel like the momentum is in Kentucky's favor. yeah, the head coach bump, new head coach bump for Florida is gone. And I do think we win that game. Now, if we lose, we're right back into hey, it's time for Stoops to go, bottom line. But
we haven't won a home SEC game in like 3 years, Rando.
I understand that. But
just don't.
We should have had we should have had the one in Texas. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I get it, but we're gonna. You have seen the offense open itself up, and yeah, you could say Stoops limits the OC. Bush Hammond sucks. Both things true. But what Bush Hammond's been able to do for Cutter Boley and his development, and the offense starting to open up. We're getting playmakers out on the field. It's Seth McGowan is back healthy. DJ Waller is probable to play. So, I mean, I don't think we've seen him play since Auburn last year. So top corner back. I think we are going to be primed for a win here and get a home SEC win. And then the Stoops thing just going to keep spiraling. We've heard all year that the team's close, the team's tight, and maybe that win is just what they need to get over the hump. Again, not projecting that I'm super excited for next season with this same staff. I'm not, because I truly think this same staff means we lose the excitement of Cutter Boley coming back. We're going to have to have some tough conversations had this offseason to get some of these guys back we really want. But yeah, I think we win this ball game. What that means for Kentucky's future, I don't know. And then my last part about the coach, I think we're going to have to get lucky if he does win in these last few games, especially if he can close out Florida and Louisville. You win those 2 games, there's only one that you really, really wanted that you didn't get, and that's Tennessee, right? So you win those 2 games, you go 2 of the 3 that you really, really want as a Kentucky fan. He's going to be back outside of, like I said, we just kind of get lucky as a fan base, and similar to Calipari, he went and found something new, tested the waters and moved on, kind of played his cards there and it didn't go to his advantage. Maybe Stoops isn't going to another job, I wouldn't imagine, but maybe, like I said, we get a retirement or something and there's a settlement in that buyout where he can carry some money over the next couple of years. Maybe it's an ambassador role for the program and he's still getting paid a bunch of money. I don't know, but it'd have to be something, I think, to that extent where we're like, wow, shocked that it happened, because Stoops is just ready to hang it up. We'll
I just want to give Coach Evans a shout out, man. He's on a tear tonight. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Coach Evans football right there. That's his MO. That's his MO. He loves beating me up about Kentucky football, and I will say it doesn't take a lot to get me back in it, right? I'm out and then I'm right back in. That's just kind of how it goes.
Believe me, I took this freaking backpack with TVs in them, and you're like, what?
Those are I will continue to say those were pretty dope. But I mean, honestly, the Auburn game is like fandom. That is fandom defined to its core, where I am all the way out. I was telling everybody, like, I cannot, there's a dude who I work with who's an Auburn fan, and he came to me and goes, "It's a big game this weekend." I was like, bro, it ain't a big game. Like, y'all are going to win. It's just kind of, in the back of my mind, I'm like, kind of need you to win this game if we need to, for the next steps of Kentucky football and something new.
Please beat us.
and then we were in that game. As soon as the game kicked off and we take a lead, and I'm like, let's do the damn thing. Let's win. And then, I'm watching it out here, on the show, and we win. And I got a big smile on my face watching the boys jump around. And I'm like, that is fandom. I went from like, let's not win this game, please God, to hell yeah, let's get this W, boys, and let's go get some more. It's, what are you going to do? That's, you gotta live in the moment, man. We didn't know what the future's going to bring. You got to live in the moment. So, what does he say? Stoops cries and radio. I'm just saying, I appreciated the tears, man. I appreciated it. Made me feel like I was in the wrong. I just made a video a couple of weeks ago saying he sucks and he needs to get fired. Saying he's crying on. I'm like, man, that's my bad. I need to be a better human myself.
No, you were right. It's just blind squirrel finds a nut on occasion.
Hey, he about to find 2. Clock strikes twice. The clock is right twice a day. I think is how it goes, right? or a dead clock is something like that. I don't know if I
yeah. Hey, for what it's worth, I hope you guys stomp them. So.
Oh yeah, both of you guys got to hope we beat Florida. If it's one win, you want to see us beat Florida.
Oh, I want everybody to beat Florida.
That's right. All right, so Selena, before we move to basketball, the most important part of the show, what are your thoughts on Florida? Do we get a win? Do we actually have an SEC win streak? Like that seems ridiculous to say at this point, but it's possible.
Now you messed up by saying that. You said that, and I just messed it up.
2 in a row. That's a streak.
No, so we have issues with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's like Brad White's weakness as a defensive coordinator. We can never figure out how to stop a mobile quarterback ever. That part is extremely frustrating. If we can, I'm not going to stop. If we can contain him, right? Don't let him go off with his legs. I think we win. But that's also as long as they don't go crazy and have Cutter throwing like these long passes down the field. Cutter is most effective when it is short passes, 10 yards or less, and chops and sections. He is super good and that like aspect of the game. So I don't know. I just think that we need to do that and contain Lagway. If we do that, I think we'll win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, gotta contain him in the pocket. Like I said, just make him a pocket passer. That's the bottom line. That's all you gotta do. Make him have to throw the ball. They lean on their run game. Two things that we can do well is, we can our run defense is good, decent, and we've actually been pretty good on the back end. Like even I was hard on him. Thought he just wasn't able to play at this level. JQ had some massive plays, one-on-one tight coverage to get, they were going down the field, third down stops to get us back on there and burn the clock. So even JQ stepped up, pretty impressive. So I think we have the defense to do it at home. I do think also that win gets the fans back in the stadium. You lose against Auburn and you're playing Florida in an empty stadium at night. Now you win that game, fans are, back to showing up in a game that you would have expected BBN to be at, because of what it means in that rivalry that's kind of, come to life since Stoops has gotten there, right?
Yeah. I do think that the Auburn win will have fans there, and I think that will help. Now, will it be the same excitement as whatever year they beat them at? Whatever they beat them at Kentucky? I don't know what the year was. Whenever they had like all those penalties against Florida, I don't know about that, but it should be a better atmosphere than what we were expecting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. All right, so football, it is what it is. Whatever. We had the game against Nichols. Did Tennessee have a game this week? You all did, right?
This week?
They played Duke. Exhibition.
I thought did you all have an actual game this week? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, against Mercer. We played
Mercer.
Okay. Any key takeaways from that? To be honest, I didn't catch any of it. I didn't even have the ability to hate watch in the slightest.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it, so I don't know.
Oh, was it ESPN?
No, I can get ESPN. It was SEC Network Plus, I think.
Yeah,
and I don't have access to that.
Yeah, they got to figure that.
Yeah,
they got to figure that out.
That's on the ESPN app.
Well, yeah. I think one of the biggest takeaways was Nate Ament scored 18, got 9 boards. Because I think all eyes are on him, at least early on initially. And, arguably, this is probably Rick Barnes' best roster talent-wise. as far as ranking, recruit, things like that. But it's just going to take some time. Everybody in the backcourt is new to position, and our best experience is in the front court. So it's just going to take some time for these guys to kind of gel and get a feel for game flow and where people are going to be and whatnot. So it'll be fine.
That does remind me. I did see a couple comments about the game, and there was some disgruntlement. And we're always gonna have these fans, so maybe it was just the couple that I saw. There were some folks who were making comments of like, "This is not a Rick Barnes defense. We're letting them score too many points. We're not rotating. We're not, communicating." Did you see that? Do you think? I mean, it's the first game of the season. Like, defense is something that's going to click. Same with offense. Like, as you get in, play more games together. But any concern there? I mean, Nate Ament is talented, but he's light in the ass, right? He's smaller. I don't know that he's going to be someone who can. He's gonna probably need some help once we get into SEC play, playing with some of these bigger dudes. And we with the same thing. Malachi Moreno's great, but he got to get stronger. Brandon Garrison's got to get stronger. Any concern that with your front court size wise?
Front court size wise, no. With Okpara, Estrella, Cade Phillips, and Jalen Perry.
Don't give me that, Cade Phillips. Cade Phillips soft. I like him as a player, but he's
6'10" though. I mean, so he's a big body in there, and
he's definitely not soft. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not soft. He's not.
I don't know what
he's not everywhere. He's far from soft, dude.
He wasn't very soft in that Sweet 16 game that I watched.
All right, just stop. I don't need it.
But
he's nothing like soft.
So about that Colin Chandler dunk, y'all.
So
I got it.
Jalen Carey, transferred from Vanderbilt, and he's got a little thug nasty in him. So I'm not worried about the front court at all. It's how the back court gels. And keep in mind too, Rando, we are coming off of 4 years of, last year's defensive player of the year and a 4-year starter at point guard that both lived and breathed defense. So I think it's going to be an adjustment. I mean, because if even within our own fan base, if people are expecting to see the same result on defense that we had with Jemiah Mashack and Zakai Ziegler with this group in the backcourt this year, that's not going to happen. I mean, Mercer scored 61 points. It's not like they scored 80. So I don't understand the criticism there. I mean, I can understand maybe we didn't look very cohesive at times, but to say, oh, this isn't a Rick Barnes defensive team, this team will be fine on defense.
I agree. That's a really good point too, though. Like a Rick Barnes defensive team is about effort and all that. Mashack and Zakai were the two of the 5 best on-ball defenders in the whole country, maybe.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right. Like Barnes can make you have all the effort, but some people just have a knack for it defensively, and you're not going to replicate what we had on the perimeter on ball defensively this year. So what will be emblematic of a Rick Barnes defense is what's the effort look like? Are we putting pressure on the ball, and how are the rotations? Rotations are going to come, like Rando said, with a little bit of, although honestly that should come with just some basketball know-how, but that will come with some reps together. Look at what kind of effort we're getting. What are the guys? Are the guys on the ball getting up under somebody, and then are the guys off the ball at least giving you effort on the rotations? If the game plan is to run people off the perimeter, are they doing that? That is what will let you know. Your ability to have the foot speed and the instincts and stuff to stop people on the drive, that's a whole different. That's not about his scheme or system. That's about how good of an individual defender Zakai and Jemiah were. So I thought that's a good point.
Yeah, because Mashack and Ziegler played together 4 years. These guys ain't even played together 4 months. So, everybody just
it's probably been the biggest roster turnover that you guys had in a long time, right? It's from your stars. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
They're gonna have to get used to it.
The year that Grant and Admiral left, there was a lot of turnover there, and it went to Jordan Bowden, who was like our 6th man. It was between him and Lamonte Turner. they were supposed to take the reins. Lamonte Turner ended up having a shoulder, I think, and so he only got to play a couple games. So ton of turnover, and that was a significantly down year compared to coming off of what we had from Grant and Admiral. So yeah, either this year or that year. But we lost, what was it, 4 starters or 5? Grant, Admiral, Turner, Bone.
Jordan
We lost
Bone.
at least 4 of the 5 starters. So
yeah.
And that was kind of a rough year for us. So
yeah, it's not as bad because Estrella was out all year, but he part of the team, and then Phillips is back, Akpara's back, so we got rim protectors, glass cleaners, all the front court's fine. I'm not worried at all about the front court because we'll be able to rotate 4 guys in and out of there with carry. But the back court's just going to have to gel. That's just going to take time and some experience playing together, knowing where everybody's going to be on the floor, how they rotate and switch. So it'll take time. And I know the first few games we've had some national criticism from a couple idiots about like our first 5-game schedule being pretty lightweight, but then you look past that 5th game into 6, 7, and 8, and it business picks up. So we've got some big non-con games that we better.
The SEC is tough enough. SEC is
sure.
tough enough, man. I mean, like you get in a couple of these tournaments, yada yada. The ACC, SEC, you'll play someone in the ACC's trash. So it kind of depends on who you play. I'm not sure who you play in that tournament, but it's I mean, we got Louisville, Michigan State, Gonzaga. So our non-conference is going to be tough, and I like that. I also know after last year and the PTSD of watching that non-conference tear up our key players.
Don't forget St. John's too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. St. John's December 19th. That one's going to be a dogfight. So hopefully we get JQ back by then. But
we have
Kentucky,
Illinois, and Louisville. So
okay, it's Louisville, but I understand what you said.
Louisville. How's that?
Lord.
Oh, prayers to Louisville, man. For real, I don't know if you saw that. It just reminded me. That stinks. I know that they announced who the UPS crew was. Prayers to their family. Anybody that was affected. Yeah. I know the destruction was massive, and I think that people were fortunate of I think the death count could have been significantly higher. So thank the Lord for that. But that's going to be that's a tough scene. I got out of a meeting and had a bunch of text messages. And have you seen what's going on? And some of the video footage of what had happened. And some people that we know from just Kentucky media and yada live up in that area. So tough scenes, and hope everybody recovers from that.
Yeah.
But for Kentucky basketball, it was kind of funny. I mentioned your defense. Last year we were enamored by our offense right off the bat, right? We were just, Berea and Jackson, Ansley, the way that Lamont could play defense and get to the basket. All of a sudden, like Otega Owe wasn't expected to be a 16 point per game scorer. He was. And then, we look good against Purdue. We lose J-Lo, don't really have a point guard. Zell doesn't play against Nichols, and we come out and our defense is phenomenal. We held them to 9% shooting in the first half, but we only had 35 points. Our offense just couldn't get going. And Kentucky fans in group chats are freaking out, right? Like, oh my goodness, what are we like this?
The panic was real.
Yeah, super real.
Like,
but,
I saw
after
tweets that were like, if we don't score 70 in the second half, I am hitting a panic button. And I was like, what are we doing?
A week ago, we beat Purdue, and it was we're hanging a banner. And then we had this game against Nichols. It was like, we're not even going to make the tournament. Like, people are losing their minds. That is Kentucky fandom in a nutshell, to be quite honest, especially for basketball.
They did that within a single half that happened. The flip is wild.
Wait, what banner were you hanging? We made it out of the first weekend banner.
Listen, we've been. How many chips you got in basketball?
We're not. Listen, we're not deviating. We're not deviating.
Anyways,
You brought up
the second
Banner,
half.
not me.
The second half.
Listen, Hammer. He brought up tweets from people. Okay.
Assignment 9 is getting hung this year. Just you can put it in the bank.
Double back because that was.
Yep. That's my call sign for the 9 in football when I'm coaching. If you see me drop this thing on the sideline, hey boy, run that 9, beat them deep, throw it long. So win at the line. But no, the offense looked good in the second half. Better. Zell came in there, and we actually had someone who could distribute. And when he gets in the game, everything was completely different. So
that was the problem because Colin Chandler cannot play point guard.
You know what?
He can't, and that was the issue in the first half because Zell didn't get a lot of PT time at point guard, and then Colin was doing whatever Colin was doing.
You brought him up, so let's go ahead and play it. Let's go ahead and play this. Oh.
Dude, listen. The scream that I scrubbed whenever this dunk happened. Okay.
Person was able to keep that one in play.
Hey, Yaga!
Oh my goodness! On his head.
And T's not impressed with this.
He just took him upstairs, dropped him off on the second, and said, "I'm going to the 5th, baby." Number 5.
What did he say? I want to know what
he said. He said, "Not your average white boy." I'm pretty sure if you lip read, if you go zoom in on the video, he said, "Not your." Which, hey, shout out Colin Chandler. I mean, just.
Was able to keep that one in play.
Oh. That's never happened in TBA.
The reaction.
On his head.
The reaction to this were so good.
Yeah, from the bench.
It's
the bench and then on the floor too. Oh, it was like.
It's Nickel State. It's basically a scrimmage.
He is 6'10", and the rim is 10 foot high.
Which makes it even less impressive is because he's 7 feet tall.
No, Colin's 6'5".
I'm talking about the guy he dunked over is 6'10". Come on, man.
Hammer, that's the same thing that he said to me, and I was like, so that makes it even worse that he's 6'10" and plays at Nickel State. Like,
yeah,
dude,
exactly.
Come on, it was a good dunk. The cockback was outstanding because his arm was straight, which makes it exactly. It makes it a super dope dunk. The fact that he had a straight arm, but you're beating Nickel State by 30 points, and you gonna talk all this junk like. Everybody told Arch to stop flexing. Everybody told Arch to stop flexing over Sam Houston State, dude. Right. This is the same thing. You're beating a Nickel State team by 30 points. Get out of here.
It's not the same thing because Arch needed 5 O-linemen and a receiver to block for him, and he barely nudged into the thing. He barely got in the end zone. He flexed over this little corner.
You're beating a JV team by 30 points.
If he would have done that,
is a varsity player supposed to flex over a JV player when he dunks on him?
Regardless of who it was, the dunk was nasty. And basketball fans
I said that.
Appreciate. Yeah. Little Wayne was like, Little Wayne, the dude has 3 brain cells and he was talking about it, okay?
Little Wayne is not an authority on basketball. I don't care what he said.
Is Little Tucci text or tweeting about Tennessee? I don't think so. No, he's not.
Care. I don't need him to. Like, what do I want Little Wayne's tweets
going to make it to basketball season with this nonsense. I can't do it.
I don't care about Little Wayne's tweets. Again, it was a nice dunk because the straight arm on the cockback, that's really what made that dunk super dope. My whole thing is just like talking to all this junk to this dude, like, yo, you can't be on the court with me. Like, we know that, man. You're beating us by 30 points. What you want me to do? So, and this dude is 6'10" and got like 4 inches over the rim. So that's all. It was a good dunk.
Listen,
I'm on the post dunk antics. That's what I'm on.
I'm all about it. Colin Chandler spent 2 years, God knows where, on his Mormon mission trip. He came back, had to get back into basketball. He did that with – he can't even have caffeine. He did that with no soda pop, no no Monster, nothing, just pure adrenaline.
That wasn't very Mormon-like behavior to me.
Listen, Colin Chandler got married and gets a good on the regular now, and he's a different player, okay?
Oh, yeah, now you need to bring out your super soaker.
Yeah.
That's bring out the super soaker. We did mention this preseason when he got married. Is, hey, listen, Colin Chandler about to experience something that's going to get him a little more springy on the basketball court. All right, he's going to be playing a little more free now. He's going to be playing a little more free. All right. Oh,
aside from Colin, Malachi Moreno is really good, by the way.
Make a free throw, my guy. He's so good.
Okay. His shot is ugly as sin, but court presence overall is really good for a freshman.
100%.
I'm not hating, Braden. I'm just observing.
What's that?
Known sex haver.
Colin.
I think he meant haver. Like,
okay.
Yeah, there we
go. So agree. And I tweeted out that I think Malachi Moreno is our best 5 currently, and I don't think it's close. Brandon Garrison has some flashes. He is a liability defensively, and there's moments in time, like I compare him to like these kids I just coached in football. Like there's times you're looking out there and you're like, I don't even know where their mind's at right now. Like they are completely zoned out, and there's plays on offense and defense where it's like, Brandon, are you with us right now?
Like
your mind isn't even in. Where are you at right now? I don't even know what's going on. It's like come back to the game, my guy. Moreno's involved. He's active. He's a big, strong body. He got moved around a little bit, but he can go out for no board. He got I will say against Nichols, I'm not gonna look at our offensive rebounding numbers and we had 15 of them. That's impressive. But again, we're playing Nichols. Let's see how we do against teams of equivalent talent. But yeah, if he's going to play big like that, and he's going to be able to be a post presence down low, he's going to get fouled. He's got to make those, and he's got to get an and one opportunities. He's got to make free throws. Shooting 52% from the free throw line as a team, and I think he went 1 for 6 individually. Cannot happen.
No,
not happen. And I know Hammer was looking at those free throws too, because that might have been the cover mark for him if he had made some of those. So that has to change. And I don't know that it affects our 3-point shooting as much, just the way the game is flowing. But when time stands still, we're practicing in our own practice facility. I wonder if that throws some things off on a free throw shooter, because we have dudes who should be good free throw thrower. Even Otega Owe didn't shoot very well. I wonder if that backdrop, not practicing in Rupp and not getting those shots off in Rupp.
I can say as a former player, the backdrop definitely makes a difference.
It does.
So if you're used to shooting with a solid background, it's different when you're shooting into just glass with either people or something behind you. Absolutely, it'll make a difference. But at the same time, these kids have shot thousands of free throws at all costs, like gyms across the country. That should not affect them.
Yeah, that was a road game. I would say, the environment probably have an effect. But when you shoot 25% from 3 at home and 52% at the free throw line at home, I'm not dogging you out here, Rando. But
no, it's bad.
That has to be a legitimate concern moving forward, especially with some of the games that you have on your schedule early, non-conference.
Yeah, we are not going to be as good of a shooting team as we were last year. We're going to be more athletic. We're going to be able to get to the cup. The unfortunate thing for me was we had some wide open looks that didn't go down in the first half, and I think we were 1 for 9, maybe something.
It was cold in the first half for sure. Yeah,
something atrocious in the first half. I do think we make those shots. We look back and we are probably a 38 3-point, 40% 3-point shooting team if we're lucky. But we don't have a Brea who's shooting 50% from three.
Right.
No Reed Shepherd on this team.
Yeah, Trent Noah. Can he step up and make some 3-point shots recovering from ankle? I think really, do we get a 3-point shooter in J Lo? I think if he can stretch the floor out, that's massive. Both Garrison and Moreno can make them. You're probably at best going to get 3-point or 30% shooting from them if you're lucky. But at least they're a threat from out there. But can J-Lo, can Zell, and Otega Oweh, can they make them at a 38-ish% clip? If that's possible, then I think we're going to be okay.
Even at 35% with the rebounding presence, because they dominated. And again, it's Nickel State, but still, they dominated.
Without JQ. Still have JQ in our back pocket.
Yeah. So, if they can just get to, mid-30s, I think they'll be fine in that regard.
Yeah, I think Lowe getting quality shots will make him. He's got a pretty stroke, so we'll see if he can make those shots. Zell, if he can make them. Otega Oweh hitting that corner three. He's still got the hitch in the shot, but man, it comes out pure. It's got good rotation, and if he can make those consistently at a decent clip, I think we'll be okay. The big thing is with the news against Valpo tomorrow, J-Lo is back. We will not have Trent Noah. He's still in the boot. Injury looked worse than I think it was. Thank goodness. But I do think
he tried to come back in.
Yeah. Did you hear the story?
He was like, "I'm ready to go, coach," and Pope was like, "Sit down."
Yeah. He told the lead athletic trainer that, hey, Trent was like, "Hey, I'm good to go in." And the trainer came to Pope and he was like, "Hey, Trent says he's good to go." And Pope's like, "He's lying to you. He's not okay. Sit his ass on the bench." It stinks that we won't have him. I think he needs some game minutes to get into the flow. I think he can actually be special. I think he can be a traditional starter, if we do have some injuries and he gets healthy. But J-Lo coming back, if we can go J-Lo, Zell, Otega, Mo, and Brandon Garrison as a starting five, get Marino some minutes at the five as well.
Don't forget about Yelovic either, though. He can shoot too.
Yeah. He showed some promise. Acted defensively. Real active hands, had a couple tips. You got to work on moving your feet, my guy. Like let's shuffle, let's get down. Let's play a little defense. I know you're not used to that over in the Euro League, but let's try to do that here as in college basketball, especially as we crest into January and SEC play. But I think we do need a quality game against Valpo. Get the confidence up because Tuesday's coming quick, and that game is important. That game is important. I don't know if you saw the end of Louisville's game today. I saw it on Twitter. They were beating the team by like 20-something, and the 10 fans that were left in the building were all already chanting "Beat UK." Right? That is what they're focused on. And
you guys played there, right? It's in Louisville.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately,
which I will say is an advantage for Louisville, obviously. But if you watch that game, blue will get in. There will be a bunch of blue in that stadium.
Oh yeah.
And if we play well, it'll sound like a whole game. I mean, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, when we went there with Antonio Reeves and Reed Shepherd and Rob Dillingham, I mean, my goodness, that was Kenny Payne's last year, and we stomped
that was when
him.
Rob went demon time on that game with that dunk too.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a home game for us by the second half. So let's hope for that. Let's hope for that again. I will say, you want to talk about terrible defense? Go watch South Carolina State play. My goodness, all these dudes had shorts on that were about 2-inch inseams. I don't know what was going on. They were all wearing like WNBA shorts, and they were playing.
That's a pass for me just for that reason. I don't need to watch
that. And some of them were prancing around like it too. And I was just like, and there were multiple times where there was business decisions being made of like, I ain't getting in this dude's way, and like wide open legs to the cup. And I do think them playing that game and the way SC State played gave them some false confidence, to be quite honest. But we'll see. It's going to be a big game. I hate that we're playing them this early, not because of JQ not being here or whatever. It's just, traditionally that has been a late December game.
That'd be like us playing Alabama or Florida, 2 weeks into the season. So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, which, and selfishly, I don't get to get home very often. That was always, whether if it was at Rump and we got to the game or, if it was in Louisville, we got this bar that we go to. Selena's been there at Gillum's, and we go there, and my family gets together and watch the games. So that's like a tradition. Now it's kind of taken away because there's just no chance I'm getting home in early November. But if we get a win, I'll be happy. We're 100% going to do a watch along right here on the channel like we did last year. So let's keep that good luck going. But yeah, I think that is a good place to wrap up. Do you guys play this weekend? I didn't even ask you. Tennessee basketball play this weekend? No games. So you guys will start back next week on Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm seeing what the date is. The 17th. Play Rice. So.
Yeah, you guys got all sports, football, basketball.
No.
Nice little break.
We play on Saturday. We play North Kentucky on Saturday.
Northern Kentucky.
And then Florida.
The Norsemen, a tough basketball team. Tough team.
Sorry, I was on the wrong week there. Yeah.
Yeah.
North Kentucky is wild, by the way.
North Florida on Wednesday. Rice, Tennessee State, Rutgers. So some cupcakes, and then we jump right into Houston. So.
Yeah. It'll excited for basketball season.
Tennessee fans do not want to fire Coach Heupel. That's like 0.001% of the fan base.
Get off it. That can't. I honestly, maybe I should. I learned a couple things this week who this Crompton guy was. Also learned from Juice that Kevin Nash was a Vol. Shout out NWO. That was surprising to me, kind of cool. That dude, he was hooping. Was he hooping for you guys? He was a basketball player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old days. Back at the WWE or WWF, WCW. All right. Well, yeah, we'll get some. We got some big game this weekend for multiple reasons for Kentucky. Let's get a win against Florida. At this point, Stoops is Stoops, and he's the coach until he's not. So let's pack that place out and get a big win. And then just keep that momentum rolling as we, got Vandy in a couple weeks and can close out with Louisville. Nothing would make us happier. I have some tweets bookmarked that are going to be just out there, shotgun blasted, just full auto send if we win that game against Louisville. And then, basketball this weekend rolling into next Tuesday. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it Saturday. Monday, big day, my guy. Big day Monday.
Have y'all had yours already?
Nah, the 22nd is our ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the Marine Corps birthday is November 10th, 1775. But of all the branches, the Marine Corps takes our birthday the most serious. And the ball is pretty much we don't. The ball is pretty much every Marine's favorite time of year or favorite day of the year. Whatever day their ball falls on, you usually try to get it within a week or two of November 10th. But that's when there's ceremony, there's pomp and circumstance to it. Guys get in, they wave their swords all over the place. I used to volunteer for that every year because Rando and I both enjoy drill and all that stuff.
Ta-da, left, right. Yep.
Which is uncommon for our side of the spectrum. But yeah, big day. And that's when Marines can kind of let their hair down, and your most junior Marines feel a whole lot more comfortable talking to their master sergeants or the majors or whatever. So
and we're 250 this year. It truly is like it when you become a Marine, you're indoctrinated. And I say it every year. I joke with the wife, like you get 2 birthdays a year. You get the day you were born, and you get November 10th. Right. And everybody goes around. You'll hear happy birthday 400 times as you walk around a base or wherever. And then we're 250 this year. Monumental. So super excited. If on Monday, if you're a Marine, do 250 of something. Don't booze. Do some pull-ups, a push-up. Do something. 250 of something. And yeah, not 8-ounce, 12-ounce curls. But yeah, we'll get on here Sunday or Saturday and have a good time. Watch a little bit into the game for Florida, and look forward to some good basketball this weekend. But always appreciate y'all coming on the show. Everybody, thanks for hitting up the chat. BBC. We didn't get Richie in today. Coach always jumping in here. Colin Chandler enthusiast. Always love our burners jumping in. Richie Buckets not being here was disappointing. But we'll get him in next time.
Yeah,
Selena?
No Richie, no Juice. We'll have to give him a hard time.
Yeah. Selena, all UK ball teammate. Team on me, team on 3, 1, 2, 3, team. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Big Orange.
so enthusiastic, T. Hammer. Appreciate you, dude. We'll see you Saturday.